You worried about me and I'm worried about me, but what about you? I don't know, because you're not worried about you and I'm worried about me type of thing. It's like going back to an ex is like a dog going back to vomit. Like, ew. Ew, you like start to ick at it. You really see things for what they are. You'll realize like how unbothered you are because you are over it. You don't have any emotional attachment to it. It does not do anything for you. Is this stuff going to matter next week, next month, next year? Like, you know what I mean? 5-10 years from now. Greetings, my amazing A-listers, and welcome to another beautiful day with A. I am so grateful to be here, and I trust that you all are well. If you're not, I'm sending you all the good vibes. For those of you who are new, my name is A, and this is our Society Experience A-List. A-List is a list of alchemizing women of the highest order of divinity, excellence, and admirable eminence. We make it happen. We don't make excuses. So today's topic is going to be about how to be unbothered and how to just move on from situations that no longer serve you. And this topic is strictly going to be like more so like a girl talk. I mean, some guys are going to probably tune in because I know someone subscribes to me, but this is mainly for the ladies, the girls, and you know, all the good things like that. This topic was really inspired by something I was meditating on and also speaking to one of my cousins about. And I know that I am one person who is guilty of going back to situations that don't serve me, feeling like I'm missing out on something, and at the end of the day, I ain't missing out on shit, okay? So, how to be unbothered. So, when it comes to like self-mastery and to really like being at a higher level of mindfulness and at a higher frequency, you start to develop a detachment from people, places, and things that don't serve you. And a lot of times that comes natural because think about it. You keep experiencing the same thing. Think of a wall. You're trying to get to the other side, right? All you have to do, say this is the space to get to the other side, but you don't see this space because you keep going here because you want to keep going in this direction. But this direction is holding you back. If you just step back and go around, you will get to where you want to be. But a lot of times we can't even see around to the other side because we're so close to the wall and that we keep going through it. We thinking that we invisible and could just go right through it. And that's not how life works. And a lot of times we create so much hardship on our lives, physically, mentally, emotionally, and even financially because we're holding on to people, places, and situations that are irrelevant to our existence. And for a long time, I know that growing up, I was the one person who was very caring, very nurturing, over emotional towards the people that I love, especially in romantic partnerships. Like, I just felt like that person was my all, and I felt like I was missing out on something and just giving, and I was not receiving much, but I was not filling myself up with love. I was not nurturing myself enough to see that this was not healthy for me. And I felt very insecure because a lot of those partnerships that I was in, I was not being treated correctly. I was being cheated on. I was being lied to. I was being manipulated. And I just felt like I didn't know what real love was until I had to wake up to myself to realize like, hey, you are losing more than you're gaining. And if you keep going on with this, you're legit not going to have anything left for you. And you'll never seek or have the love that you truly desire and that you are worthy of. And that's when I had to realize like I needed to be unbothered, because a lot of times when we leave situations such as romantic partnerships, especially if you weren't really, and I'm not going to say like, oh, I'm so perfect, but for the most part, there's always one person who's more at fault in a relationship when it comes to like that detachment and that breakup and that separation. And typically, if you're the one who gets away because you feel like you've had enough, that other person, even though that you may feel sad and like, hey, like you really want them and you chase them, or even if y'all not really even together, there's a form of detachment, whether by force or choice. The person who was doing the wrongdoing, they end up coming back in a sense, and it just always happens. That's just like the imbalances or balances of scales of karmic cycles. And once you come to a point of realization like, hey, this is not for me, you like start to ick at it, you really see things for what they are, you'll realize like how unbothered you are because you are over it. You don't have any emotional attachment to it. It does not arouse you. It does not make you want to go back. And I'm going to transfer this over to friendships as well, and just like situations. In high school, I'll give you an example. When I was in high school, I wasn't very much into like drama or with people because I was very like quiet, and I was, in a sense, very passive, and I just minded my own business. Like, I was just in my own world. I'm a baker. Y'all know that. So most people knew me as like the baker or the dancer because I was on dance line. And just like the bubbly person. So I didn't really have too many issues, but I did used to have some type of conflicts with certain people. And the way I used to handle that, or like being put into unnecessary drama that legit has nothing to do with me, it was more so the people who are around me that I was associated with. The best way for me, and I don't know what came over me to make me have this mindset that I've carried into my adulthood, which I'm so grateful for. But I used to always say to myself, is this stuff going to matter next week, next month, next year? Like, you know what I mean? 5-10 years from now? No, it's really not. So why should I care about it? Like, drama is always happening. Think about the news. There's a news story every single day. Can you even remember what happened in the news like 5 days ago? Most probably not. And that's how I used to look at things. And I'm so grateful that I developed that mindset and that concept, because it saved me a lot of energy and a lot of drama and a lot of unnecessary like encounters with people, because I just did not care. And I noticed as time went on, a lot of people, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but I know that some people, especially those who were close to me, when they saw me in that state of being, it really bothered them. Because it's like, when people are bothered, when they are miserable, they want you to be miserable as well. And it's just like that saying that they say, like, misery loves company. Yeah, it's really real. And I was just one person. I've always seeked to have a sense of peace, because it's just like, I don't like conflict. I don't like drama. I don't like being in conflicting energy. It really disturbs me. And I feel like it just really brings out an ugly side of me that just does not need to be shown. And so I used to be very avoidant in some senses, but for the most part, I was just like, I did not care. And I had to really keep telling myself that. And then as years went on, I realized like how much more peaceful that I was and enjoyed myself and my space because of that mind frame of, one, being detached and being unbothered. Now, I'm not going to say that I was never bothered growing up or in like the recent years, because yes, I have emotions. I am a human. But for the most part, especially now more than ever, like, my unbotheredness is just like unmatched, because it's just like, this is my world at the end of the day. And I have control, for the most part, of who I allow in and out of my energy. And once you start to gain that sovereignty and that sense of self, you really don't, you realize how much you don't have to deal with, especially as an adult. Like, there's things that we have to say. We have responsibilities. I mean, I have responsibilities. And I will hope that you ladies have responsibilities as well, that you care about and that you prioritize. Whether that is your family, whether that are your close friendships, whether that's your career, whether that's your business, like your children, like whatever it is, your pets, you have other responsibilities. And why would you waste your time and energy on low vibrating energies that are irrelevant to your energy? You have to see those as like beasts. A beast, you keep feeding it, it's going to keep coming back. It's going to keep getting bigger. It's going to keep getting ugly. It's going to continue to take more energy out of you, like an energy vampire. Or like even a cat. Think about it. Like, you feed a cat one time, it's always going to come back to that same spot that you've been feeding it. Like, no, just don't even entertain it. It's not even worth it. And once you really start to practice that skill, you start to realize like how much energy you conserve, and then you can put it towards things that you actually want to do. Like me, I am big on experiences. I love to eat. I love fine dining. I love to venture out and being around like good vibes and people. Why would I risk that or continuously put that on the back burner to deal with BS that has nothing to do with me, or continuously being in friendships that literally do not serve me? Like, I was always the one growing up trying to nurture friendships and people and things, and like being so emotional, where I started to lose my sense of self and like my value, because these people didn't care about me. I mean, they acted like they did, but the energy just wasn't matching. And then I realized, when I started to get into uncomfortable situations with these people, it was just like really bothersome. And at the end of the day, these people, they don't care. So it's like, why should you? Or why should you feed into things that are just going to continuously deplete you? Like, it makes no sense, especially with like guys. I realized that in a dating sense, it's like, if someone is bringing you discomfort, is bringing you chaos and confusion, what in the world do you think is going to happen with yourself and your mental? How do you expect to have love and peace and harmony and all these things? Yeah, you might have it for a quick moment, but the overall picture and the gist of it is chaotic and ridiculous. Like, it doesn't even make sense, but you're stressing yourself trying to be with this person, or feel like you missing out, or feel like you constantly going back and forth because he over there with her and you over here worrying about what is she doing, what's she looking like. Like, I know this from experience, because I used to be in these type of relationships that used to really play on my emotions, and it's because I allowed it. It's like, I saw it, but I just kept staying because I felt like I was so emotionally invested. And now it's a zero tolerance policy. Like, get cut, do not play with me. Like, I am not playing. Like, there's no reason for me to step out of my authentic self, which is a person of higher intelligence, which is a person of being grounded for the most part, which is a person who's intentional and mindful, to deal with chaos and foolishness. Like, it just does not make sense. And we have to be able to detach ourselves from those type of energies, because they started to bleed into us, into our character. And then we go out into the world, into our career and all these things, and we unconsciously, or maybe consciously, put that onto other people. For why? It doesn't make sense. And especially when it comes to like exes, I don't deal with exes at all. Like, once I'm done, once I checked out and exited the door, there's that. Like, there's nothing to talk about. And it's not to have bad blood or to say like I hate anybody. Like, I genuinely don't. I just don't care, and I'm unbothered. And I think there was a saying, my mom, she said this to me, it's like, going back to an ex is like a dog going back to vomit. Like, ew. I mean, some people, they find their ways through like compromising, but if I already saw we dealt with each other, you did me dirty, I'm leaving. Like, there's nothing for me to keep playing on or keep dragging it on. It's just annoying. And I feel like I'm gonna always remember those things. Like, you did me this way, I allowed you to do me this way, I started to act this way, and it was just not healthy and conducive for me. It didn't make me feel good. And I feel like we should value ourselves as women, as alchemists, to better serve ourselves with people, places, and situations that feed our soul and not starve our souls. And that's just really it. Like, really just not allowing yourself to be attached to leeching energies anymore. Like, to really just know how to detach yourself and disconnect from the things that make you worse instead of better. And it's really the emotions. Like, us women, we do naturally have this emotional part to us. For me, I feel like, I'm not going to say that I don't have emotions, but I know that at the level of thinking and awareness that I'm at, it's just really hard to just trigger those type of emotions out of me, because I've worked so hard, especially on my darkness, and having those dark night of the souls and the experiences, and really having to sit with myself and to talk myself through things and really pray and to really discern from like what was of me and what wasn't of me, what I want and what I don't want, and to really know that I have the power to choose like who I want in my energy and who I don't, and not to settle for anything less of that. If it's bringing me chaos and confusion instead of serenity and calm, I'm not going to deal with it, and I encourage you all not to deal with it either. For what? There's so many endless possibilities in this world, especially of abundance, especially of peace, especially of joy, and experiences that we couldn't even fathom imagining, but that feed our spirits so much at a higher frequency, at a higher level, and that we miss out on because we're too busy looking at the irrelevancies of life that have no business in us. Mind the business that pays you, because the business that is not is gonna put you out of business, and it's not worth it. Like, for me, I know that even in like friendships, like, I don't worry about nobody. And I know that some people, they're not even at that emotional level of intelligence and maturity where they can just let things go, and they have to continuously replay things in their mind because they don't know how to detach or even look at themselves to take accountability for these things. And I know it took me a while to understand that and stop obsessively thinking over matters that I have no benefit to where I'm trying to go and what I'm doing currently. Like, why worry about somebody who's only worried about themselves? Like, you worried about me and I'm worried about me, but what about you? I don't know, because you're not worried about you and I'm worried about me, type of thing. So I hope that makes sense. If you get it, you got it. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so like, just really just valuing yourself at a higher level and just really cultivating the energies of who you are, what you want to be, and being around like-minded people, because those are the type of people who are going to feed your spirit and take you to the places that, like I said, that you couldn't even imagine being, that feed your spirit at a higher level. And for me, that's all I'm about right now. I'm in my era of just receiving, of being open and expansive and learning more and being very discerning of what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, what I'm involved in, and just not settling for less. Even in work environments, like, we could be around these energies that we don't have any real control of, especially with people, and they start to bring out like bad parts of us, low vibrating parts of us. But and then again, that is just a lesson of the self-control that we have to be able to bring awareness to, because like I said, you keep feeding into the beast gonna keep showing up and taking your energy, and next thing you know, your house destroyed, you bruised up, because you keep feeding into this beast who keeps bringing out these low vibrating energies out of you. So I want you ladies to just really take care of yourself and to know your worth and value, and to really just master the art of being unbothered, because at the end of the day, you hold the key to your destiny. And if you keep allowing devil energy to mess with you and to mess up your frequency, you're only showing yourself, you're only showing God that you're incapable of handling your own self, and you don't really have the strong enough willpower to say no, to set boundaries, and to just let things go. There's things that are going to continuously be around. Like, there's a yin and yang to life. You just have to just really understand and pick the spectrum of that you really want to vibrate on. Where there's light, there's dark. When there's dark, there's light. And even if you do get sucked into it, just be able to see the lessons and all of that to better yourself. I know sometimes I used to fall victim to the whole talking about people, or, you know, ranting on about things of the past that have no relevancy right now in my future or in my present moment. And I had to really stop myself when I felt myself getting into that, because it's just like, why backtrack when I am catapulting forward to a better place? So it's just like really bringing awareness to that, and those people who bring out that energy in you, and ask yourself, why are you engaging in such type of things, and why are you in those environments? Like, what in you is reflecting that energy? Because we are a reflection of the people, places, and situations that we put ourselves in. Like, where you are in life is exactly where you are in life, and that goes for the 3D and the 5D aspect of self. So like I said, I want you ladies to be the best versions of yourself. I want you all to have an amazing day. I know my eyes probably look a little low. It is kind of late, and these lights are very much bright in my face. But I want you all to have an amazing day, amazing night, amazing morning, and make sure you subscribe and follow me on all platforms at Experience A-List, and I will catch you in my next video. Ciao.